Oh, and by the way, Boehner Bronco Buster?
Yeah.
Where the hell did that come from?
Improv.
Oh, it's wonderful.
For far too long, the American wrestling industry has been plagued by the deep-seated issue of mistreating foreign talent. Wrestlers from abroad, especially those from non-Western countries, have been subjugated to stereotypical gimmicks and demeaning storylines that undermine their skills as professional wrestlers. Instead of being showcased as the incredible athletes they were often reduced to jokes, furthering stereotypes and reducing their cultural backgrounds to punchlines. Even the success stories were filled with insensitive, cultural misrepresentation. As the years have passed and the world has progressed, the American wrestling industry has begrudgingly been forced to change as well. Still, there is always a concern for these foreign talents coming to America, as there are still and always will be cultural and language nuances that are difficult to overcome, regardless of how welcoming the industry has tried to become. Kazuchika Okada has long been one of the most influential and popular talents outside of America. For nearly 15 years, Okada dominated New Japan Pro Wrestling, becoming the longest reigning champion for the promotion and winning their world title a total of 7 times. There was speculation for years on whether Okada would come to America permanently. However, these conversations never seemed to last long. Okada was the ace of New Japan, and in his late 30s, change did not seem to be coming. Since joining AEW, Okada has been a highlight every single time he is on TV. There was concern about Okada coming to America, and I have to admit, I was concerned as well, but not for the same reasons everyone else was. I was concerned that the aura surrounding Okada would potentially be lost, I thought that maybe the reason he felt so special was because as someone who really only watches American wrestling, I never got to see Okada, so when he rarely did show up on American soil, he felt like a real attraction. I'm glad to say I was wrong, and Okada has 100% maintained his aura and mystique. Not only has he maintained his mystique, Okada has shown that he is not one note. Not that I ever thought that he was, and I'm sure New Japan viewers have known this for years, but I will gladly plead my ignorance and say I was not familiar with Okada's comedic game.
Bitch.
Okada is genuinely hilarious, and this versatility has been a revelation for many American fans who only knew him as, the Rainmaker, New Japan's dominant champion. Like I said, I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you I've had my eyes glued to New Japan for the last 10 years, but I have 100% illegally streamed my fair share of Okada matches. Since joining AEW, Okada has had bangers, whether it be tag team matches, singles matches against Pac, or even Anarchy in the Arena. He has already shown an ability to adapt to different match types and styles, just proving that he really is a chameleon and can be used however AEW wants or needs. I know some people were a little worried when Okada first turned heel and joined the Elite, but it has just been incredible. I know the Young Bucks and Jack Perry can be a little divisive, but I can't hide it. I love the Young Bucks, and Jack Perry is slowly but surely growing on me. It's just not a pairing that I would have ever expected, but it works so well. On top of all that, this storyline is clearly all heading towards Kenny Omega taking on this new version of the Elite, and I could not be more excited for that. Okada and Omega had some of the best matches of all time in Japan, and even though they're a little older now, I still think they're capable of creating some of that same magic. Also, who knows, maybe Adam Page gets involved. I would not be mad at all at Okada vs Hangman. That's another really awesome part about Okada's time in AEW. There are pretty much unlimited things for him to do. We can still see matches against guys like Adam Cole, Takeshita, MJF, or my personal dream match, Adam Copeland. We have not even seen the beginning of Okada in AEW, and I am so excited for the future. The wrestling landscape for foreign talent is not perfect, and maybe it'll never be. Look at WWE, for example. Have they taken insane strides? Yes, but it is nowhere near where it needs to be. Foreign talent are prominently featured on WWE TV, but there seems to be a problem with just sort of lumping them all together. Put all the Mexicans in LWO, put all the Japanese women in Damage Control. This isn't all WWE's fault, you know, the fans play a part in this as well. I'm not exactly sure when it was, you know, maybe 1 or 2 years ago, but I vividly remember people fantasy booking every black wrestler to join the Hurt Business. As fans, we set these expectations, and we need to start to expect more from these wrestling companies. You know, I got a little bit of pushback from my Wyatt 6 fantasy booking video because I put Montez Ford in the group, and maybe you guys were right, you know, maybe that was a stupid idea, but I will stand by the fact that I would be interested in seeing something, well, just something different. And before this even becomes a thing, I am not attacking WWE. This isn't a WWE versus AEW thing, and just because I am praising Okada's booking up to this point does not mean that AEW is perfect. Both companies have a ton of room for improvement. You know, I guess my point is, I'm just happy to see Kazuchika Okada excelling in America, and he didn't need to dress like Kato to do it.
I'm killing myself.